Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Code Realized, Guardian of Rebirth. And let's see, we are trying to kidnap some government official off of a train. So, let's see how that turns out. Just relax, sit back, and let me read you a story. With Impy's shout, the ornithopter picks up speed. It flies through the air, cutting through the night sky at great speed.
Nice! This piece of junk is doing pretty well today. I'll not have that slur used against my machines. Whatever Impy Barbicane builds is always incredibly stable.
I wouldn't call this incredibly stable, but for now the ornithopter is traveling at an unbelievable rate. It shouldn't take us long to catch up with the train. I catch sight of the railway below us. Then I see a lone rail car sitting by itself on the tracks.
Aha! There it is. That must mean our assault team is doing well. Looks that way. Let's follow them.
However, only a short time later, Lupin and Saint Germain's prediction is unfortunately true. The weather suddenly takes a turn for the worse, and a forceful wind hits us. My sense of equilibrium is thrown off because of the intense turbulence.
Come on! Come on!
Impy desperately tries to control the ornithopter, which is being shaken every which way by the wind.
Hey Lupin! Where's the train? We're going to crash before we reach it! We are almost there! You have to keep going!
We hear the train's whistle from far off. A tiny light shines ahead on the dark rails. That must be the locomotive.
Impy! Can you get us closer? I'll do what I can!
Impy goads the ornithopter into more speed, and little by little, we begin to close in on the train. I hear the powerful noise of the engine. Finally, Impy draws the ornithopter parallel to the last train cars. However, we can't go further ahead.
The car we need to break the connector on is up ahead. Impy, go faster! We're already at full speed. I can barely keep up with the train.
As they go back and forth, I hear a gunshot from within the train. That was Van Helsing's shotgun?
It would seem that there are still some guards on board. We don't have a choice, Impy. Get as close as you can to this car. We'll take care of the rest. Right. Guess it's time to reveal my secret weapon.
Impy presses a button on the control stick, and an intense blast of steam shoots out the rear of the ornithopter. The ornithopter picks up speed, propelled by the force of the steam.
This won't last long. Jump off when you can. All right, but with this wind, we won't be able to count on Impy for help. Mademoiselle, you stay behind.
No, I'm coming with you. You need every last bit of help you can get. The way things are going, we're already short-handed, and you trained me. I promise I'll be useful.
That's a pretty speech. I won't stop you then. Come on.
Right. Lupin holds me tightly to him. I relax my body, trusting myself to his hands. I'm floating in the air, and in the next moment we're on the roof.
I'll come back to pick you up once the wind's died down. Don't die, you two.
I wave to Impy as the ornithopter flies away, then turn to look at Lupin.
Let's just get inside. The wind here is too strong for us to try walking across. Falling off would not be funny at all.
Lupin quickly puts his ear against the train's roof.
There's two of them. From the sound of the footsteps, they aren't Van Helsing or Victor.
Then...
Right. We'll have to go for the surprise attack. I'm putting you in charge of taking one of them out. Can you do it?
I've got this. Lupin breaks one of the train's windows in, then slides into the car ahead of me. I follow him through a few seconds later. One of the Twilight soldiers is already on the floor. The other has his back towards me while he squares off against Lupin.
Where did you come from?
The enemy hasn't noticed me. Now's my chance. I strike him as hard as I can from behind with my hand, and he falls to the floor.
That was pretty impressive. I heard you were training in combat too, but I didn't think you were this advanced.
Thank you for distracting him. If I catch someone off guard, I can defeat anyone, even a giant.
Is that Van Helsing's technique? Our lady is quite the dependable one.
Lupin checks out the train cars ahead.
We've strayed from the plan, but we still have to dislodge that connector. We'll be moving forward, and climb onto the roof of the car right before the one the leader is in. Can you move silently?
Of course I can. You made sure I learned how.
Good response.
Let's go, Lupin. I set off running, but Lupin grabs my arm.
Hold on! There's someone behind the seats. Hey, come out now!
Lupin shouts toward the last row of seats, and a figure rises from behind them.
Oh, you sensed my presence. It would seem you're much more perceptive than what I'd heard.
I don't recognize the man, but I've heard that voice before. Did you bump into Lupin back at the station?
Oh, you have a good memory, my lady. And that's right. I do apologize for bumping into you earlier. You're not a member of Twilight, are you? Who are you? My name is Sherlock Holmes. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Sherlock Holmes.
This is weird. Sherlock Holmes. Oh my god. I guess it's copyrighted. Who knows if our meeting is through chance or necessity? When I saw you at the station, I noticed you were suspicious. And when I overheard your conversation, I was certainly surprised to learn that you were planning a bold kidnapping plot. I see. So you were eavesdropping on us. Strange. I could have sworn that I was being extremely cautious. Oh, you think too highly of yourself if you think that you're the only one with the talent for subterfuge. Wouldn't you say, Monsieur Lupin? So, you know who I am as well. Scary. Anyone with a healthy interest in criminology knows your name, Mr. Gentleman Thief.
The man calling himself Sholmes looked at us as if he can see through everything. Who are you?
Me? Just a lowly private detective. A private detective? So, you're just an ordinary civilian. Stay out of our way. We don't have time to deal with you. I wouldn't be so sure. It's a detective's duty to stop a crime in progress if he sees one taking place, is it not? I'm terribly sorry, but you're under arrest.
As he says this, he takes a fighting pose. It's nothing grandiose. He simply thrusts his left hand forward, but it makes him a completely different person. I can tell from Van Helsing's training, this Sholmes is very strong.
I swear, your treatment won't be rough if you surrender to me. Thanks for the warning, but sorry, we have our own situation to deal with. So, why don't you take a little nap?
Lupin points his walking stick at the man, and smoke spews from the tip. In a matter of seconds, a cloud of white smoke has swallowed Sholmes. Is that Victor's anesthetic? Lupin grins in response. Even a small whiff of this is enough to bring you to your knees. If he breathes in too much at once...
I don't think so.
Sholmes' hand reaches out from the cloud, and Lupin jumps back just in time. When the smoke clears, Sholmes is standing there, looking as calm as ever. What? How?
Huh? How are you still standing? That's a pretty potent drug. I heard you tap the ground with the stick at the station. From the sound, I knew it had some sort of trick to it. At first I thought you had a hidden blade in it, but then I thought it sounded hollow. I deduced it was most likely gas. On top of that, the great Arsène Lupin is known as a gentleman thief. You probably wouldn't carry a lethal weapon. Thus, the gas was likely a smokescreen or vaporous knockout gas. I've dabbled a bit in the pharmaceutical sciences as well. Knowing that, it's easy to find countermeasures to protect myself. I covered my mouth with a handkerchief, soaked in a neutralizer I threw together, and... Oh, you're gone. Thank you for your valuable opinion. It gave us time to get away.
Lupin and I were already running towards the car ahead of us.
I see. You have some great insight finding opportunities in any situation. However...
Lupin suddenly trips, and his mask falls to the ground.
Oh! What's this?
Lupin, there's a string around your feet. A sparkling thin string extends all the way back to Sholmes' hand.
You're too self-confident. That's why you didn't even realize that you'd fallen for such a rudimentary trap. You! When did you do this? While you were fighting off the soldiers earlier, when you thought there were only guards on board, you'd already lost.
Sholmes begins to wind the string towards him, dragging Lupin across the floor.
Whoa! Do you think you're some sort of spider or something? Detectives need to develop some street magician-level techniques in order to catch their targets these days.
Lupin! Without thinking, I pull off my glove and grab the string with my bare hand.
It's no use, my lady. You're no use for my strength.
I'm not using my strength. Smoke rises from the string in my hand as it melts, disappearing like snowflake. Lupin, who had been sliding across the floor this whole time, comes to a stop.
Oh, that was unexpected. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye.
It's none of your business. I put my glove back on and glare at him.
That's unfortunate. Either way, I advise you not to turn your back on me. Damn, this guy is a handful.
Lupin starts whispering to me.
Claudia, you go back onto the roof and hold on against the wind. Impy will come for you eventually. Don't worry about me.
I can't do that. Van Helsing and Victor are still fighting, and Sholmes here is tough. If the leader's personal guards head this way for some reason, you'd be blocked in on both sides. I have to worry about you.
That's an accurate analysis of the situation.
I'll break the connector on my own, then we can pull the train car to the line. And that will cause the car to slow down, making it easier for Impy to come pick up everyone. This way, we all have the best chance of making it out alive. You already understand that, don't you?
Can I trust you to get it done?
Yes, you taught me all the skills I need.
Do you think you're sharing secrets over there? I can hear everything. I didn't think that the infamous Lupin would have an apprentice. She's quite a cute understudy. If you think she's only here for her looks, you're going to get hurt. But before you do, I'll show you some pain myself.
As Lupin says this, he throws a flash grenade towards Sholmes. I start to run and don't stay to see what happens next. I'm worried about Lupin, but I need to take care of my own task. I leave the train car. The window to the door to the next car is covered by a black curtain. I can't see inside, but that means that whoever's in there can't see me either.
Maybe this is Dracula, and that's why they have a black curtain.
I carefully climb the ladder to the roof. The wind outside is so strong, and with the train's speed, I might be blown right off the roof if I'm not careful. In the howling wind, with my clothes being pulled about, I start making my way across the roof. I have to use all the skills I've learned to head to the other side of the next car without making any careless noise. I somehow make it to the connector. It looks like I'll be able to take care of this before we reach the track switch. Right before I attach the device, sudden curiosity makes me turn around. There are no black curtains over the window on this side of the car, and I can see into the interior. But... what? There is nobody in the car. We are supposed to disconnect. Did Lupin get the wrong car? There's no way. Just do your job, woman! At that moment, I feel something hard pressed against my temple. I slowly look up and see a man standing there.
Cross your hands behind your head. Don't resist and I won't shoot.
I obey him, moving slowly. He orders me to walk, and the two of us slowly enter another train car, not the one Lupin and I had planned to disconnect.
That's a lot of Twilight soldiers.
There are almost a dozen soldiers here. If I had to take on this number of guards by myself, there is no way I could win. Don't give up. Look for an opportunity. That's how Lupin had taught me to think when caught in a situation like this. Thanks to his lessons, I was able to calmly observe my surroundings without panicking. Nobody utters a word. The only sound is the rattle of the train along the tracks. I wonder what happened to the others. Did my failure put them all in danger? As I'm thinking this...
You certainly are a quiet one.
Several Twilight soldiers stand around me as I sit in the narrow passage, my legs tucked beneath me. The man who captured me is smiling at me in a calm manner. That seems oddly out of place in this situation.
I was expecting a young girl, such as yourself, to cry or scream or make some sort of commotion. It would seem that you have more self-control than you let on. Or are you merely mute from terror?
I'm scared, but it's in times like this that I most need to remain calm.
I see. Wonderful. I'd like some of my men to follow your example of composure. I suppose you are a unique individual after all. To us, and to him, and to the entire world.
Him? The world? What is he talking about? I open my mouth to ask, but I'm cut off by a voice coming from behind the man.
This conversation is unnecessary, Alistair. Fine, be your usual cruel self, denying this old fool the joy of conversation.
The man referred to as Alistair chuckles to himself and moves aside. The person standing behind him is...
Oh, I thought it was a girl from the pictures before, but it sounds like a guy, I think. We finally meet, sister.
The speaker is a young boy sitting on an armrest of one of the train seats. His hair is white, golden color. His eyes are jade, each a different shade. His voice is cold as ice, and he turns a thin smile towards me. Sister, who are you?
Oh, that's right. You wouldn't know who I am. You were always asleep. You only woke a year ago, but you have knowledge, don't you, sister? You and I share the same father. That would make it simple to figure out why I can call you sister, yes?
Sister, that means we must be related by blood. And he has a connection with my father. Could it be... Are you my younger brother? The boy nods, satisfied.
Yes, indeed. I am your younger brother. My name is Finis. What's more, I am currently the leader of Twilight, and the person you have come here for.
How can you be my brother?
It's the truth. I am your brother. You're my one and only remaining family member.
I'm so surprised I forget to breathe. I can't believe I have a brother. And that this sibling, sitting right here in front of me, is the Twilight Commander. Who could have imagined it?
You and I have inherited the dream of our father, Isaac Beckford.
We inherited his dreams? I can't help but to repeat what he said.
Do I surprise you? Of course, anyone would react that way in discovering that the people hunting you are led by family. What's more, you have something you want to ask me, don't you? About why Twilight wants you? About the horologium in your chest? About your memory, perhaps? Why your body is filled with and what it is? Of course, about whether or not it was possible to remove that poison.
How did you know?
How? You're funny. You and your crew tried to trap me, but you fell into our trap instead. I had leaked the information that I would be aboard this train, knowing it would reach your ears. With just a touch of a lie regarding the amount of security that would be with me. I just wanted to meet you already, so I threw out some bait to lure you in. Oh, is all this new information confusing you? Don't worry, we can go over all of it again later. This probably isn't a very relaxing place for you. Alistair, we've secured my sister. Let's go.
A dull explosion shakes me to the core, and the man who had me at gunpoint earlier nods.
We've just wrapped things up as well.
I turn back and see the train car behind us falling behind, getting farther away. That means that I've been isolated from Lupin and the others.
No more interruptions. Now we just...
Suddenly, the window shatters as someone leaps through the glass to stand between Finis and me. The Twilight soldiers react quickly, but faster still are a fusillade of gunshots that take them down one after another.
It seems you spoke too soon. We have an unwanted visitor, Alistair. It looks like you didn't quite finish your job. Those plans go awry when you're up against the human weapon.
Thank you, but Van Helsing doesn't let me finish. He holds up a hand to stop me and keeps his distance, staring at Finis.
Nobody move. If anyone so much as lifts a finger, I'll shoot this man. I'll shoot Finis.
Van Helsing points a gun at Finis. He is completely calm and seems to have firmly set his mind on a course of action. Sensing his tense, murderous intent, the few conscious soldiers around us show no signs of taking action.
Now, who do we have here? The infamous Abraham Van Helsing himself. It's been a while, hasn't it? When did we last speak? Quiet. You've always been nothing but empty threats. Why don't you just pull that trigger instead of wasting our time? Shut up. Aim well. The head or the heart. Strike out at any part you like. I said shut up!
Van Helsing roars in agitation, and his gun roars along with him. Part of the metal seat beside Finis is twisted out of shape in an instant.
Try to joke around with me again, and I'll kill you without hesitation. Kill me? You can't kill me. It's impossible. Would you like me to try?
He cocks his gun. Taking this for a sign, the Twilight soldiers, more in unison, take fighting stances with their slender blades. The man standing next to Finis, Alistair, steps forward.
Abraham, put the gun down, won't you? For old time's sake. I can't do that, Alistair.
Van Helsing responds without hesitation. Do these two know each other? I remember that Van Helsing said he was a member of Twilight in the past. I have only a moment with my own thoughts.
Finis, I'm going to kill you here and now.
But, Van Helsing, this whole mission...
If I can kill Finis with my own hands, that becomes my top priority.
Van Helsing...
You can't make up your mind. What? Again, you're wasting an opportunity with unnecessary talk. You won't pull the trigger because you can't make a decision. Do you fear dying? Or perhaps you fear her dying? Or maybe, are you afraid that I won't die?
Van Helsing says nothing and just glares at Finis. His gun trembles slightly, but I can't tell if it's from rage or fear. I can't move. The strange atmosphere permeating the room has completely swallowed us. At this rate, we'll... Suddenly, a loud crash breaks the silence as a cannonball the size of my fist smashes through the window. I've seen these many times during training. Van Helsing, duck! Van Helsing reacts quickly. Red, blue, green, yellow. The fireworks go off, shrieking furiously. The car is filled with sound and light. The soldiers quickly take cover behind the seats or step forward to protect Finis. Intimidation through fire, an escape tool that suits Lupin's style. It doesn't hurt anyone, but surprises them. It's especially effective against trained enemies who try to anticipate what's next. Enemies who don't know about the trick are taken aback, and those who know about it can use the surprise as an opportunity.
Cardia!
Lupin's voice comes in through the window. He's hanging from a rope ladder, and he reaches his hand out to me. It seems that he's somehow hanging from the side of the ornithopter.
Over here! Run!
Lupin shouts to be heard over the burst of the fireworks.
I won't let you escape, sister.
He pushes his guards aside and tries to grab me. Ugh!
Next time, I'll strike Finis.
Right before Van Helsing leaps from the train, he helps me by firing his gun. The train is still going full speed. I'm not as tough as Van Helsing. If I hit the ground, it would undoubtedly kill me. But, so what? I have faith that Lupin will catch me. Lupin! Just as Finis' fingers brush against me, I get a short running start and jump with all my might out the open window. I can't control my body as I tumble in the thrashing wind. The ground rushes up. Lupin's strong arm catches me before I hit.
You jumped! Good job!
As soon as Lupin has a hold on me, the ornithopter turns away from the train. In an instant, we've gained distance from the train. As it gets smaller and smaller, I see Finis look out the window at us. And, for some strange reason, he is smiling, as if he's enjoying that we resisted. It is an expression of glee, like that of a small child discovering a fun toy. Lupin tightens his grip on me, as if we got the same impression from Finis' face.
We fell right into his trap,
he says in a low voice, tinged with frustration. Yes. We failed the mission, but he is probably concerned that letting Finis escape will prove to be an even greater threat later. Finis, Twilight's leader, and perhaps my brother. It should be impossible to believe, yet I feel as if I've felt this cold gaze somewhere before. A long, long time ago. Somewhere.
Hey, you two, we're running low on fuel. I'm going to speed up so it'll get a little shaky, so hang on.
Impy shouts bring me back to my senses. For now, What matters most is that we've escaped from Twilight's clutches.
Right! Don't worry about us. We're counting on you to get us back to the rendezvous point, Impy.
What about Victor?
Don't worry about him. I've already picked him up. So that's that. We're done here. So let's get the hell... What's the matter, Cardia?
I don't know. My chest is burning.
Your chest? Did something happen to the horologium?
I don't know. It's a pulsating, searing pain. I tightly hold my chest and watch the train disappear into the distance. And Chapter 5, Vampire Requiem. And at that, we will end this video and pick it up in the next one. I hope to see you in my future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.